Coming up on Laker Update.
The deadline to secure your spot on a trip to the Galapagos Islands is running out.
Also ahead, Joshua Popink has your weather for the next 5 days.
But first, Will Bowen on how students are fighting back against climate change.
Laker Update starts now.
Good morning, Lakers. It's Thursday, March 21st.
And this is your Laker Update.
After the mass shooting in New Zealand officials took quick action and passed gun legislation in hopes of preventing more attacks. Their quick action has refueled the hot topic of gun legislation in the United States. Drew Haddad has more.
This past Friday in New Zealand, mass shootings took place that killed 50 people in mosques. Over the past 6 days, the Prime Minister of New Zealand has taken a strong stance on gun control, swearing that all semi-automatic weapons and assault rifles will be banned. The Prime Minister's quick call to action has brought some criticism upon the United States gun laws.
Well, I feel like it's a good thing because I'm not sure if anybody else is going to get mad about the shooting and then shoot more people, so I feel like it's a good thing that they're doing that so that way it helps save other people in the future as well.
I'd say they should think about it a little more because not everyone has a motive when they buy a gun. A lot of people do have protection, but I do understand why they'd ban it so fast because of all the shootings that happen out here in Western countries. I would say I'm in between because it is the right decision to ban most of those guns, but also if people want the freedom to protect themselves with a gun, like a semi-automatic, they should be able to.
They should put restrictions on these weapons, not total bans, because if this happened in America, this would be my point of view. But I do think that they should put just restrictions, not a complete ban on the weapons.
I think it's good that they're getting on it quickly, because you don't want more people to die, because that's bad. And if you get on the gun laws quick, then there ain't gonna be no more shootings. So that means less people will die, and it'll be a safer environment for other people.
I think it has more to do with people than it does guns, because people are the ones firing the guns. But yeah,
I think it'll be good because they're banning guns for the future that won't harm any people or harm anyone, and you'll still have smaller guns to protect yourself.
I think it could cause more issues for the populace as a whole, because think of defense. If you're defending your home, if you have to defend your family, and you don't have access to these weapons, but the criminal does, I think that can cause an issue.
This is Drew Haddad reporting for Laker Update.
Teens across the world are getting involved in activism at an increasing rate, from topics dealing with gun violence to the recent protests about climate change. Will Bowen has more on the recent climate change protests.
Last Friday, almost 1.4 million students skipped school, and this wasn't a case of mass senioritis. Spanning over 120 countries, Friday marked one of the largest environmental protests in all of human history, and it was spearheaded by a teenager in Sweden. The group that started this movement is called Fridays for Future and is led by Greta Thunberg. She's been protesting slow progress in curbing climate change that is negatively affecting the Earth since last year, but Friday marked the current apex of her movement. She isn't sugarcoating the situation either, saying, "Our house is on fire. I don't want you to be hopeful, I want you to panic. I want you to feel the fear that I feel every day, and I want you to act." The goal of the movement is to keep fossil fuels in the ground, phase out subsidies for dirty energy production, and seriously invest in renewables. And these kids and teens aren't alone either. Thousands of scientists around the world have voiced or written letters of support for their cause. While you may not have seen the movement in West Bloomfield itself, many U.S. cities participated. Sydney, Delhi, San Francisco, London, Dublin, Tokyo, and even Washington, D.C. are just a few of the thousands of cities and communities that joined in the protest. They did this by walking out of school or even just asking their lawmakers and representatives to tackle climate change more intensely. Maybe in the future, West Bloomfield will be participating with Fridays for Future. I'm Will Bowen, reporting for Laker Update.
One of the many fantastic women that inspire me in history is Rosa Parks, and Women's History Month allows not only me, but all women to honor their role models.
March is Women's History Month, and there are many strong historical women to look up to.
The woman in history that inspires me is Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court. She inspires me because she was empowered enough to stand amongst like all the other men on the court and still be able to say like, I'm just as like intellectual qualified as you.
There are a lot of women in history that inspire me, but one of the recent women that has kind of been in the news a lot is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because she's made a lot of impact on like not only equality for women but in the courts as well, legally changing the game for us. So that's been pretty inspirational lately.
First, Ginsburg was appointed by President Bill Clinton in 1993. She's the second female justice after Sandra Day O'Connor. Ginsburg spent a considerable part of her legal career as an advocate for the advancement of gender equality and women's rights, winning multiple victories arguing before the Supreme Court. For example, in 1996, Ginsburg authored the court's opinion in the case United States v. Virginia, which struck down the Virginia Military Institute's male-only admissions policy as violating the Equal Protections Clause of the 14th Amendment. She made sure that women are provided for not only in this case, but in many cases and situations in the future.
Currently it's Hillary Clinton because she's been the closest woman to actually become president within history, and that's really inspiring for young girls.
Then there is Hillary Clinton. She is not only a First Lady, but she is a strong woman in politics as well. She served as a U.S. Senator from 2001 to 2009, Secretary of State from 2009 to 2013, and as the Democratic Party's nominee for President of the United States in the 2016 election, becoming the first woman nominated by a major party. She received more than 65 million votes. This amount of votes for a candidate is the third highest count in the history of U.S. presidential elections, showing her impact on the American people.
It's a little early, but Beyonce, mostly because of her music.
And last but not least, of course, Beyonce. Rising to fame in the late 1990s as the lead singer of Destiny's Child, Beyonce made a clear impact on the music industry. Later, with the release of her first solo album, Dangerously in Love, she established herself as a solo artist worldwide, debuting at #1 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart and earning 5 Grammy Awards. She continues to inspire women all over the world today to be outgoing and to do what they love. All of these strong females continue to make a positive impact, inspiring people today.
To me, I often feel that I have to prove myself more than other people, not only because like I'm a woman, just kind of in general. So she reminds me that you're never too old to stop fighting, and you should never give up on fighting for what's right, and just yeah.
Well, I'm a female, and I need rights, and I have rights because of some of the things that she's fought for, and now they're not just like, oh, you get that right. They're actually legal written documents that I have those now, so that has been important.
It just kind of helps inspire me to like be a stronger woman and be more of an individual and just push for what I want rather than what others want for me.
Well, I just got accepted to a professional apprenticeship, and I guess her being really good at music and everything kind of inspired me to go after it, so I'm going to be interning at a studio.
It is very powerful to know that younger generations have so many women role models. This is Lindsay Hazelton reporting for Laker Update.
Make sure to join us here at Laker Update in celebrating all the amazing women in history and also women today.
Senior class shirt order forms are now available in Mr. Smith's room, room 509, and Mrs. Danton's room, room 510. Order forms are due by next Wednesday, March 27th.
The WBHS Fashion Program is hosting a fashion show next Wednesday, March 27th at 7 p.m. Tickets are $7 in advance and $10 at the door. Be sure to support this event.
Don't miss out on early registration for the 2020 spring break field trip to Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands. The deadline to enroll is fast approaching. The opportunity to receive $100 off the cost of your trip ends Friday, March 22nd at midnight, so be sure to reserve your spot.
Mandatory Chromebook updates are happening now. All student Chromebooks must be updated in the iCenter by Tuesday, April 26th. After that date, Chromebooks that have not been updated will be shut down.
Stay with us.
We'll be right back with sports.
Have you ever thought you'll not be taken seriously or you'll never be able to make it in life? Have you ever thought that you aren't good enough or that your opinions don't matter? You may have heard this before. Voices and stories matter. Opinions need to be heard. To inspire, to succeed, to love, and to dream. Because your dreams are worth more than you think.
Our world is beautiful. Don't mess it up. Recycle.
It's exciting to see 50 degrees again on the forecast.
Josh Popping is here with your local forecast.
Good morning, West Bloomfield. Right now it is 40 degrees. The dew point is 38, the humidity is 92%, and the wind is calm. As we move on to your weather almanac for today, right now the high is 46 and the low is 32. The average temperatures are 48 degrees and 30 degrees, and the record temperatures for today are 82 degrees and -2 degrees. As we move on to your 5-day weather forecast, right now, today and tomorrow are both going to be cloudy. Right now, though, currently in the morning it is foggy. The high is going to be 46 again today, and tomorrow the high is going to be 38. Saturday, the high is going to be 45, and we're going to see our first sunny day that we've seen in a while. And Sunday, it'll be 51 degrees and cloudy, and Monday, it'll be 37 degrees and snowing.
Here's a look at your sports today. Today, boys varsity lacrosse plays Grosse Isle High School here at 6. Be sure to come out and support your fellow Lakers.
Now please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for watching Laker Update.
You can connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and LakerUpdate.com.
Have a great day, Lakers!